Procrastination isn't because you are lazy. It's because your energy is dysregulated. Once I learned how to manage my energy instead of forcing productivity, everything changed for me. Hi, my name is Melanie, and today we are going to talk about how to stop procrastinating on the things you actually want to do so you can start to get the most out of your time and be productive. Are you someone who's always planning or creating schedules for yourself, but then you find yourself not actually getting anything done? Or at least the important things done? Or have you ever said things like, if I had enough time in the world, I could get everything I need to get done? Or have you ever said, if I had enough time in the world, I could get so many things done? Or anything along those lines. I know I personally have said them. The truth is that we have the same amount of time as everyone in this world. But what we are missing is how to manage our energy rather than trying to managing our time. Because energy plays a bigger role in our life than you know. You can have the perfect schedule, the perfect planner, all the motivation, and still not get things done. Because productivity isn't about time. It's about your nervous system state. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here's what you need to know. Your brain has two key systems. The first one being your prefrontal cortex. This is where your focus and your decision making sits. The other one is your limbic system, also known as your amygdala. This is where stress and survival sit. Knowing these two systems and how they play a role in our brain and in our life is crucial. And this is what's going to shift the way you are productive moving forward. When you are feeling things like overwhelm, fear, stress, limiting beliefs, your brain literally shifts into survival mode and productivity shuts down. Think about it. When we are in survival mode, or when we think of people or animals who are in survival mode, they can't think about anything else or focus on anything else but getting themselves out of survival mode. But what if you are actually already out of survival mode, but you're still procrastinating, you're not getting things done, you feel like you can't manage your life, your time? Why is that happening? Well, this is because your fears and your limiting beliefs are activating that part of your brain, and therefore you can't get into productivity mode. Your only focus is you need to get the laundry done, or you need to clean, or whatever it is that tells you you need to do instead of getting things done. But even if this happens to you, there are ways to train your brain to release those type of triggers and work with your energy instead. So here are 3 ways that you are going to start doing to manage your energy, which is going to help you to release those triggers, like things like fear, overwhelm, stress, and get you out of that survival mode so you can start being productive throughout your day. The first one is going to be to learn how to regulate first and then take action. If you're someone who is always having your survival mode kick in, then you need to start regulating your nervous system on a daily basis, right? This means doing things like breath work. You could do things like meditation. You could do things like journaling. Those 3 things are the top tier for me because they have helped me to start regulating my nervous system. It helps me get out of my head and into my body. It helps me to become self-aware of what I am feeling throughout my body. It helps me to be aware of my emotions, of any feelings I have that are keeping me stuck or blocked. And another way is to learn how to ground yourself. There are 3 ways that I like to ground myself. One is to take in sunlight. I like to think of sunlight as an energizing battery, right? I think of myself as a solar panel, and I think of when I go outside, take in the sun as it just energizing my whole body, my whole being, filling me up with so much energy to sustain me throughout the day so I can be productive. So it's important to go outside and get that sunlight in. Another way is to ground yourself is to go outside. I'm looking out my window right now and walk barefoot on grass. I like to touch trees. And for me, this gives me energy because the grass and the trees are alive. They have life in them. So I always think of them helping me release stress, taking my stress and then giving me energy. The next way to manage your energy is going to be working with your natural cycles. And one way to do this is, what I like to do is start to notice the patterns of when you have the most energy, and notice the patterns of what times do you start to feel like you're being drained and you no longer have any energy. And this is going to help you to do things that are the most productive when you have the most energy. For example, for me personally, I have the most energy early in the day. As I go throughout my day, my energy is being drained. And I have the least energy around 6 p.m. So what I like to do on my days off, all the important things, the things that take most of my energy early on, and do the things that take the least energy throughout my day. Another way to do this is having focus cycles. I like to take 30 to 90 minutes to do a certain thing, then I take a break, do something that takes less energy, and then I go back. The next one is remove emotional resistance. What does this actually mean? When we think about procrastination, the reason behind procrastination is we try to avoid discomfort. So think about what it is you are leaving to the last minute and ask yourself, what are you trying to avoid in this moment? For example, for me personally, when I was in school, I would probably leave my projects till the last minute, maybe a couple days before it was due. And I realized I was doing this because I was trying to avoid putting in the hard work, doing the research to get this project done, right? I was trying to avoid work because I associated that with being tired, being overwhelmed, and that would make me feel uncomfortable, and therefore I would procrastinate as long as I could until I couldn't anymore, and then I would just have to put something together and I get it done. But what if I had taken my time, did a little bit every single day from the day it was given to me to the day it was due? I would have had a better performing project, and I would also gain the reward of me feeling proud of myself, feeling accomplished, and seeing it as a success. That would have totally changed my emotional state. And so I say this because if we are procrastinating, then there is something you are avoiding. Maybe it could be fear of failure, fear of success. It could be you're avoiding work. You know, maybe you associate work with always feeling tired, right? You could be avoiding so many things. So it's important to sit down, maybe journal about what you're trying to avoid when you procrastinate on these things. So let me know in the comments below if you try any of these things. They are game changers, and you will start to see that you start to take action and you let go of procrastination. I want you to know that you do not need more discipline. Discipline is good to have, but you don't need more of it. It's more so that you need a regulated body. We need a regulated nervous system. And once we start working with regulating our emotions and we start focusing on our energy, you will be able to have time and energy to do all the things you want to do. If you want to actually rewire your mind and your body to follow through, if you're interested in being more productive, setting goals for yourself, not just motivation, but actually accomplishing things and follow through, then I created a workbook called the Inner Architect Method Workbook, and that right there, I have 5 easy steps in which you're gonna get out of your head and into your body and create a plan for yourself to help you to achieve your dream life, your goals in 90 days. You can use this every 90 days to build momentum and start quantum leaping. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to leave that down below. And until next time, please share, like, subscribe, all the things. Until next time, bye.